A lot of social media managers are stuck, and it's because they're avoiding the real question. Now, the real questions are questions about money. People don't like to talk about money. Questions about why they are still charging the amount they are charging for the past 2 years, still charging the same amount of money. Another thing is that um, the question about confidence, the question about why they are actually still charging the same amount, as I just said, and also why they are having the feeling of imposter syndrome. Now, these questions are valid, but you've realized that over the years you've been doing a lot of things, but you've been working hard, you've been doing a lot of things to make yourself really, really valuable, but it still feel like you are at the same spot. Then this particular live session is for you. It's not a traditional class. I'm not going to be teaching you tips and all of that. I'm not going to be what is it called? Talking about how to do this, how to do that. But I'm going to be hearing your part of the story, which is you asking me your real life experiences as a social media manager, the things that you know that you've been trying to do on your own, and it's been such a struggle, right? So all those questions, you can just start to drop them in the chat so that we can talk about it this afternoon. Hi guys, welcome to my weekly live with you guys. Just drop yes in the comments, if and then tell me where you're joining from. Drop yes in the comments and tell me where you're joining from. Today is a live question and answer, so we have to be you have to be involved too. So just drop your questions in the chat box. Right here listening. Just drop your questions. I'm going to be talking about them. So let's move on. Now, I've been receiving lots of questions in my DM. Some people even do not even send the questions to the community that I opened, which is the social media manager community. They've been sending them to my DM, like my personal WhatsApp DM. And of course, um, you know, I'm going to be I wrote about 10 of the questions and I'll be answering them live. If I've already answered your question, it's okay. But if you see that I have not talked about it, then we can you can ask in the chat. Right. So let's move on. So somebody asked me in my DM recently that the person was actually trying to open up to me, and then she asked that um why is she working so hard but still underpaid. Now this person I'm talking about has about 5 clients. According to her, she said she has about 5 clients, but she still feels like she's underpaid. Now this is like, I cannot even count how many times I received this kind of question, and my answer remained the same. My answer is that being underpaid, it does not mean that you are not good. You have to first of all take that out of your mind. If you are being underpaid as at now, 2026, you are being underpaid, it has nothing to do with your abilities, your capabilities, or your skills, right? Because a lot of people are hardworking. They post, they schedule posts, they edit, they edit videos, create content for their client. In fact, a lot of people actually over deliver, but now their clients don't pay for the effort that they give. They and it's becoming something overwhelming to them. Right. Now, my advice to you is that have it at the back of your mind that your clients do not pay for that your efforts. They pay for the clarity, and then they pay for your confidence. That is what you're actually charging for. And when you are charging for those kind of outcomes, you should be able to charge your worth. Don't charge based on your skills, because sometimes when you charge based on your skills, you can actually undercharge yourself, because sometimes you even learn on the job. A lot of things that you do as a social media manager, you can actually learn on the job. And then maybe you can start by not knowing how to edit videos, but you realize that maybe in 2 months working with the same client that you need to edit their videos. You've been editing videos and then you are learning in the process. Do you understand? So imagine that while you were working with the client, because you don't know how to edit videos, you didn't charge for editing videos. But now, after 2 months, you know how to edit videos and then you are keeping quiet about it. Do you realize what that means? It means that you are actually undercharging yourself. So my point is that your outcome is much more important, and that is what you should charge for. Don't charge for your skills. Charge for your outcomes, the result, the clarity, your confidence. Those are the things that you charge for. Now, if your value is mostly execution, posting, replying, designing, and doing all of those, then your income is going to be always having a ceiling. Do you understand? Like if all you give is posting, replying, and doing like the basic social media management role and not trying to, do other things that it is actually peculiar to only you, then your income will always have a ceiling because education is easy to replace. Do you understand? So hard work is like it is what actually, um 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 hard work turns into money when it has a great positioning. Right. So let's move on to the next question. You can still drop your question in the chat so that we can talk about it. Now, somebody asked me again that how do I stop attracting low budget clients? Actually, when I saw this, I actually laughed because in my mind I was thinking that do people actually attract low budget clients? Of course they do, but the point is that attracting low budget clients is not the problem. Now, is the signal that you are sending through your content. That's where the problem lies. Do you understand? Now, what happens is that low budget clients are not I mean low budget clients, they come from when you consistently when your content consistently sound like it is not for you, when your content is not showing your personality, when your offer is vague. Do you understand? Now, if I say I'm a social media manager and I don't streamline my offer to speaking to just one person. That's the mistake that we make, especially social media managers. When we are creating content, we create content in such a way that we are talking to 1,000,001 people. As I'm speaking to you on this live, even though I know that a lot of people are watching this live, I'm not going to be talking to you like I'm talking to a lot of people. I'm talking to you like I'm talking to only you that you are watching me. I assume in my head I'm talking to one person, and that is enough. When you are talking to one person in your head, you are able to picture how the person relates to what you're saying, how the person relates to your content. Now, back to content. When you're creating content and you're speaking to just one person in your mind as you are creating the content, for example, if you have a, if your focus is on a particular type of client, and when you are creating content, your content is constantly talking to that client. Do you understand? It streamlines and cut out time wasters. It qualifies people before they book a call with you. Do you understand? And another thing that attract low budget clients is when your content is always like, oh, you help to do this, you help to do that, but your content is not authoritative. That the things that I do, this is how I did this. This is how I'm going to help you to do this. You're not saying, oh, I help to do this. Oh, I help you respond to emails. Oh, I help you to respond to DMs. Oh, I help you to do all of that. It attracts clients that actually need help in that way, not clients that actually needs a whole transformation in their business. I hope you understand me. Right. Now, I made an example that, for example, if your content says something like, I help social media managers, I help with social media, you start to attract people who want cheap help. You need to make sure that the type of help that you do is stated repetitively. Repeat, what am I saying? Repetitively or something like that. Like you have to be comfortable repeating it. Don't assume that you have said it so many times, people don't care again. No, people don't even remember what you're doing. They don't even remember. That's why I tell people the only time change comes is when you're able to repeat the things that you do, even when you close your eyes. If I close my eyes today, I can speak with a social media manager and make her, be better. I can work with a client because the point is that that's the power of repetition. Repetition. If you keep doing something, keep doing it. You it's just a no brainer. You will just be good in at that thing, right? So if your content says something like "I help brands get direction and results," now the conversation changes because they know that only brands that needs direction and results come to hire you because that's what you keep saying in your content. That is what your content is. What is it called? Is focusing on. Do you understand? If you're just joining, make sure to drop your question in the chat box so that we can talk about it before the end of the live. So this question says, what actually makes clients take a social media manager seriously? Now, this is what I believe makes clients take you seriously because it is important for you to know it doesn't matter how long you have been working. It doesn't matter. Stop. It is in your head thinking about, oh, I just started. If you like, start social media management last month. If you are able to communicate your value to your clients, they are going to take you seriously. You are going to charge your worth. Somebody can be, I've been a social media manager for the past 5 years, but you can earn more than me if you are able to position yourself with the right content. I hope you understand. So forget about how long you have been doing it. Take that out of your mind. The point is, what are you doing now? Do you understand? How is it that when you're speaking with your clients, you're speaking with clarity? How are you able to, converse your thinking with your clients? How are you able to know that you are not over explaining every action that you take or every action you tell your clients to take? You are not over explaining it because over explanation comes from you not being confident. You already have a direction, you know what to do, you know what you are going to be doing. That is when they know you are confident and then they take you more seriously. You don't just say, okay, for example, if you have a client, you already have a pre-planned post for the week. You already agreed on a strategy that you are going to use for a particular business. And then out of nowhere, your client says, oh, we will not be doing that on Wednesday. Take this away for Wednesday, post this on Wednesday, do this on Thursday. Then they are sending you different post ideas. And then your own strategy is under the pillow because it doesn't make any sense to them anymore because of all of the ideas they are sending to you. No, that is not how to do it. You are the strategist, you are the manager. You are meant to be able to tell your clients that no, if you are going to be doing this, it's not going to make this happen. You should be able to communicate the result, the outcome, so that they will know that if I don't do it this way, this my social media manager has said, the result is not going to come. Right. So if you are still following, oh, okay, are we back online? Hello, guys, are you there? Comment yes if you can hear me. I don't know if I've cut off. Just comment yes if you can hear me, please. I need to know. I need to know if I'm not speaking into the hair. Comment yes if you can hear me. Are we back? Jeez. Are we back? Comment yes if you are here. 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 I don't know what's wrong with the internet. It's so bad. Comment yes if you are here. Okay. I think I've seen a comment. Then I can continue. I don't want to be speaking into the air. Okay. Now, this is another question that I usually get consistently. Why does my content get engagement but no clients? Now, this is for your own personal page. This person asks that why does our content get engagement but no clients? To me, I believe that your content is not streamlined enough. Your content is not specific enough. That is just it. Your content is not specific enough because engagement doesn't mean intent. A lot of content is built to be relatable but not decisive. If your only the only thing that you do is making sure that your content is relatable, it goes viral, is engaging, but it's not make people make that decision. They are not going to click on your link or send you a DM because clients can tell when they know that your content is probably solving something or is a call out. Do you understand? For example, if you make a tweet about or a thread about I'm a social media manager. I help business owners that are moms to stay consistent on their socials and blah 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 blah, and you call out what they actually face. Maybe business owners that are moms during the weekend, they are not always having that time, but you are always available to make sure that they are always consistent and all of that. Do you know that because of what you have said, any mom that is a business owner is going to pause that, okay, what she's saying, that's true. This is what I face. I don't have time for my husband again because I'm always online. I don't have time for my kids again. I'm not present because I'm always online. If somebody is doing that for me, I'll have some more time because you are calling out their problems. You are calling out their struggles, calling out their pain points, and then creating content with that, telling them how you are going to be able to get more time for them if they are able to hire you. Do you know that that is actually different? Now, that kind of post may not go viral. That kind of post may not get a lot of attention, but it's going to get attention from moms. It's going to get attention from business owners that are moms. Do you understand? So, my point is that for social media managers, you have to be intentional about your post. If not, you'll be posting and posting and posting. You'll be looking for clients because you are not solving any problem. You just know in your mind that you're a social media manager and failing to understand that being a social media manager, I believe that is one of the easiest things to do right now at the year 2026. There's a lot of free courses online, a lot of free resources that you can actually self-train yourself to become a social media manager. So if you're being a social media manager is not the qualifying thing, it's actually how you're able to communicate the services, the skills that you have with your potential clients. That is when you are able to actually be a social media manager, an active social media manager. Do you understand? So that's my answer to that question. Make sure that your content is speaking to your ideal client. Your content is challenging their beliefs, is also showing the way you think is very important because now that we are in the age of AI, everybody's using AI, everybody's using AI and all of those. If your content is not showing the way you think, you are going to sound like every other person. You are going to sound like a million and one social media managers. The only difference that you are going to have is the fact that maybe your color, your graphic, but you are going to look like every other person. The only reason why you are going to be different is your thought process. Even if you are going to be creating with AI, you creating with AI will still show the way you think. Do you understand? Now, if you don't want to be like every other social media manager, you have to make sure that you are thinking differently when you are creating content. You are more intentional. You are not over there going to social media managers' pages, other social media managers' pages, and looking for inspiration. It doesn't work that way. Because imagine that you go to another social media manager's page, you go and look for inspiration, copy the person's text style, copy the person's posting style, and then you are replicating it. You are doing the same thing. How are you going to be able to stand out? If you want to stand out, then you have to bring your mind into process, right? So let's move on. If you are just joining, this is a question and answer session. And this question that I have in the presentation are the DM that I've been having for so long. I'm trying to answer them while I wait for you to drop your questions in the chat. Now, as you drop your question in the chat, I'll go to the chat after this and answer each question. So make sure that you stay behind so that I can answer your question. And why should you listen to me? If you're just joining and you don't know me before, or maybe you've never even heard of me before in this life, I'm a social media manager, I'm a social media strategist, and I've been a social media strategist for the past 5 years. I've had 5 years of experience working as a social media manager. So I think you should know what that means. Because I've all of my journey as a social media manager has been working with different brands that I've never even imagined in my life that I'll work with. And most of the clients that I have, maybe I've worked with one or two Nigerian before, but most of my clients are clients that are international clients from different parts of the world that I've never even been to. Do you understand? So this experience is what I'm using to teach you. Right. So just drop your question in the chat box so that we can talk about it before the end of the class. Now, when is the time to this? Now, this one, people actually send me DM in my WhatsApp from my WhatsApp community about this one that, oh, when is the right time to raise my price? And I tell them that first of all, you need to understand that raising your price is not about confidence. It has nothing to do with the confidence. Do you understand? Now, if you've been thinking about it in your mind that when should you raise your price, let me explain to you the three things that you should have in mind. If you can say yes to these three things, then it's time for you to raise your price. Number one, when your clients rely on your decisions. Before a client should make any decision, they always call you. They always call you, send you a DM or send you an email that, oh my God, I want to do this. What do you think? I want to buy this course. I want to buy this ebook for my business so that I can use it, or I want to use this tool. I want to pay for this tool. What do you think I should do? I want to create this type of content. Do you think it's going to work? When your clients start to call you, start to look for you, rely on you to make decisions, that's number one clue that it's time for you to raise your price. Then number two, when you are no longer guessing. I know I've been there. First of all, when I became a social media manager, I actually what's the word? Self-trained myself or self-taught myself or self-teach myself, whatever. English is not my full language, I beg. Anyways, so my point is that when I became a social media manager, I remember that guessing is like the order of the day. Sometimes I even go and I guess up to the point that I'll go on Google and be asking that um content strategy. How do you do content strategy? What is the kinika for content strategy? How do which one comes first? Content strategy or content calendar or content kinika. I'll be asking and guessing and giving guesses. Oh, the post you shared yesterday did not do well. Instead of me to give a reasonable reason, I'll be saying, oh, maybe it's the hashtag, maybe it's this one, maybe it's that one. I wasn't sure. In guessing bad again. Anyways, so guessing was like the order of the day. But after a while, because I mentioned something at the beginning of this class that repetition, if you are a social media manager, repetition shouldn't be is like the order of the day because you do the same thing over and over and over again. So And when you're able to be comfortable repeating the same task over and over again, what do you get? You get confidence, you be a master of it. That was what happened. The more I repeat stuff, the more I repeat tasks, the more I repeat my skills, I learned more. And that gave me more confidence. And also it stopped me from guessing my way through. No, because I already know I had the experience of what works and what doesn't work. So I'm able to make decisions based on the things that worked. Do you understand? So what I said is number one, I said when your clients rely on you for decisions, that is when you should know you should raise your price. When you are no longer guessing, that's number two. Then number three, when you bring structure to your client's business, not just when you bring structure and not just support. That's the word I was looking for. When you bring structure. Now, for example, before you start working with your clients, you realize that they don't have a weekly content calendar, they don't have a weekly content shooting days or stuff like that. They just shoot content when they are in the mood, and then when they are not in the mood, they disappear, they go MIA. They don't have any connection community with their audience on Instagram or wherever they are, they, and when immediately they hired you, you made sure that all of those things got sorted. You brought in support. You brought in structure. Do you understand? What that does to you is that you are more confident, and you'll be able to be sure that when you increase your price, your client is not going to kick you out that you are irreplaceable. Get off my way. Do you understand? But they will be thinking of what they are going to lose when they lose you. That is when you increase your price, they say yes to it. If you cannot answer those three things that I've said and you go and increase your price, more now because it may boomerang, and they may even stop working with you because of that. Do you understand? So you should be able to know that your clients can rely on your decisions, you are no longer guessing, and then you bring structure, not just support to your client's business. That is when you can raise your price with confidence. Now let's go to the next question. If you're just joining, make sure to drop your questions in the chat because we are going to be talking about it. And I realize that a lot of people have joined the community now, and a lot of people are asking a lot of questions. First of all, I want to talk about something. I think somebody asked recently that I think the person was talking about portfolio. Don't let me digress. I think I'll go back to that after this. Now, this question says that what's the difference between being busy and I think let me try to use this so that I hope this is not covering the questions. Okay. What's the difference between being busy and being strategic? Now, what I realize is that being busy, it feels productive. You think that you are doing a lot of things. But when you are strategic, you are calm because you are thinking. That's my answer for that. So if you are a busy social media manager, you just react. You see that every day you're always reacting, you're always, fixing things constantly, you are exhausted. When you open your laptop, like you have 10 million and one tabs opened. You are reading this book, doing this course, covering this one, and everything is scattered. Even you thinking about work, you're already exhausted, even without doing it. You are just having fatigue and burnt out. That's being busy for nothing. But when you are being strategic, you are able to decide, you are able to time block, you are able to follow a system, and you are able to repeat what actually works. Right. Let's move on to the next slide. Now, this question says that how do I stop starting from the scratch every week? Now, this one is one of the biggest energy drains. One of the reasons why you think that you are working so hard as a social media manager, I say this all of the time, is because you don't have a system. If you don't have a system, and you're always starting from the scratch for every client. You're starting from the scratch to create content. You're starting from the scratch to onboard a client. You're starting from the scratch to do repeatable thinking, things that you can easily have a framework for and do it repeatably. You are setting yourself up for burnout rather. Do you understand? If you are a professional social media manager, you don't rely on inspiration. You rely on structure, on infrastructure, on system. It's very, very important. And what are these systems I'm talking about? Having, for example, in a week, you should already know the type of content you want to create. You shouldn't be scrolling through TikTok, Instagram every week looking for content ideas. It doesn't make any sense. You should already know the type of content you have in mind. You should have a framework. Monday, I share content that has to do with, for example, you are working with a client and then you are thinking that Monday, what do you share? I share inspirational quote on Monday. And then it is that Monday that you're looking for quotes on TikTok, on Instagram. You just be wasting your time. You will have fatigue. You should already have the types of content that you, the type of prompt or content that you ask AI that is going to give you at that particular time because it's repetitive. If you're onboarding a client and then for every client you are creating content strategy, you are creating analytics report for the client from the scratch, you are coming up with what is it called? Discovery call script for each client every elder time. You are setting yourself up for what is it called? Burnout. So you should have a system. You should already, when you already know what to talk about, who to talk to, and then why you are posting, it makes your work easy. You stop asking, what should I post every week? Because you already know, you already have a framework. Do you understand? Now, if you are a social media manager who is always repeating, what is it called? Starting from the scratch for every new client that you want to onboard, you want to onboard this one, you don't know what to send first, you don't know how to even sound more professional, you don't know the first email to send after starting working with a new client, then you need my Pro Social Media Manager Client and Content Kit. Now, this kit is for social media managers who wants to raise their price with confidence this year. If you want to, if especially if you want to work with international clients, if you don't have all of these templates in place while working with them, you are going to be you are, first of all, you are going to be charging less because they would think that you are not different from people, social media managers that they can easily hire for $5 on Fiverr if you don't have a system. So if you want this system, I think I included it in the description of this video. Link to get it is there, or you can click on my what is it called? On my Instagram link, the link in bio to also get it. Right. Let's move on to the next question. Now, this one says that what system matters most for social media managers right now? I think I will leave you to answer that. You should be able to answer that. Anyway, let me see the questions that is here so that I can answer at least one or two questions first. Now, somebody asks that how to get organic marketing strategies for social media managers for social media for different niches. How to get organic marketing strategies. Now, getting organic marketing strategies, it depends on, first of all, how your content strategy is designed. You cannot do one without the other. Right. So first of all, that is important to you for you to know your content strategy, how to actually curate a content strategy for any brand. Now, if you are able to do that, your marketing strategy follows. Now, your marketing strategies should be based on the type of voice, the type of what your client, this marketing strategy, I want to believe that it is about your client, not about you. Now, if it's going to be about your client, now you have to base it on what exactly your client competitors are doing. For example, if you are working with a client that is a let's say a weight loss coach, and then or maybe a gym instructor or maybe a wellness instructor, something like that, and then their content is usually videos from the gym, their when their agent, I mean, what is it called, when their clients are in the gym, and all of those is their content, videos of gym membership and all of those things is their content, right? And then they hired you and you're on board, and you saw that their videos are not doing more than 200 views, 100 views. You should know that you should change that strategy. And how do you change the strategy? You first of all go and check what their competitors are doing. What is working in their niche? what is working in that industry. Then when you see what is working in those industries, then you start to repeat it in your own industry or with your own client. Now you don't have to copy. It's just the framework that you need. For example, if you see that they are sharing videos and videos are not working, share standalone post, share carousel post, share videos. What do they call this thing? Green screen videos where you create content and then teaching at behind you. There are so many other things that you can do. Do you understand? So I guess that should answer your question. Now, for different niches, you have to specifically research for each niche. Not It's not a one size fit all, right? I hope I'm able to answer your question. Then the next question says that I want to be a freelance, but I'm still a student. Do I have to make dummy portfolio? That's a good question. That's a very good question. If you want to be a freelance, first of all, have you actually learned how to become a social media manager? Because you still need to train yourself, even if you want to self train yourself or you want to. Now, I have a gift for you guys. I'm going to be telling you some hacks before the end of this live. So make sure that you stay till the end to understand what I mean. Anyways, as I'm saying, if you want to be like a freelance, what courses are you taking? Do you understand? And if you need, of course, you need a dummy portfolio. Now, a dummy portfolio doesn't mean that it's not real. It doesn't mean that the dummy portfolio is fake or you want to deceive people. No, you will still have a proper portfolio. Now, the only difference between your own portfolio and an experienced social media manager's portfolio is going to be that you are going to be using yourself as a case study. If you are not using yourself as a case study, you are going to be using, for example, if you are a freelance, a new social media manager without any experience, and you want to have a portfolio, you are going to be using. If you don't want to use your page, your social media page as your own portfolio, that is the growth that happened on your page. What you said that you know as a social media manager, you have done it on your page and it worked and you have screenshots of it to add to your portfolio. If you don't want to do that, then another thing that you can do is that you analyze somebody else's page. For example, my page. You want to become a social media manager. I didn't hire you as a social media manager, but when you go through my page, you have seen the things that you can do on my page that will make my page grow. Now you didn't work for me. Do you understand? But you just went through my page and you'll be like, okay, this business, I can make it better when I do this, and this is the possible result that she gets when she hires me. That can also be in your portfolio. Now, the problem is that everybody is always looking towards the things that they've done before, the experiences they've done before. You guys, I don't know. I've worked with over 50 or 60 clients, and I cannot remember anyone that I've sent my portfolio to. Do you understand? So my point is that when your voice, one, what you know is speaking for you. Your client is not going to rely on your portfolio to hire you. Now, the only reason maybe you may need a portfolio is when you want to go on site like Fiverr, all those apps, or when you want to use what is it called? When you want to get hired as a full-time social media manager, all those roles, maybe they will ask you to put your portfolio. But when you want to be a social media manager that is a business owner, working for yourself by yourself, having a social media platform where you share your skills and values, then your portfolio is like the last thing on the list. Do you understand? So my advice to you is that if you must use a portfolio as a new social media manager, make sure that your portfolio has either your experience, your own personal social media experience, the growth that you have made on your own page, or other people, other business owners' page that you admire, what you will do on their page that will make it grow. Screenshot it, put it there. That is also a part of making sure your portfolio has your skill and value. Right. Now, somebody said, I just started managing social media for an education brand. IELTS, SAT, TO, yeah, yeah, study abroad. Any advice on how to prioritize content in the first month so it actually brings result? Now you have to know that if you working with any brand, creating content, creating content shouldn't be, first of all, a trial and error. That is why I keep talking about the content strategy. You need to have a strategy, right? Now, the only thing I can tell you about that is that creating content for them, you have to make your own research. You have to make your research. If you don't make research, the content is not going to convert. Now, what do I mean by making research? There are some basics to making content, which is basic to creating content, which is when you want to create content for your client, you need to know and understand their target audience deep and and what should I call it? Is it deep? Yeah. Their target audience deep pain point, struggles, and the things that they actually find what is it called? Mind shifting, their desire, their pain points. Those are the things that you're going to be using to create content. So whenever you are creating content for this client of yours, I'm talking to Apena Titi Layo. So whenever you are creating content for this client of yours, make sure that you are creating from the place of the desire of their client, their pain points, and then the outcome, the result that they are expecting. That is when conversion comes. Now, I think she's still the one that is asking this question. She said, make sure to like this video. If you are just joining, make sure to like this video. And if you have any question, drop it in the chat so that I can quickly talk up respond to it before the end of the class. So somebody said, as a social media manager, am I supposed to be the one to come up with content structures, like what they will be posting? Of course. Of course, you are meant to be the one. You make the research, you come up with content. Of course, you are not the one that is going to record the video. You are not the video director, whatever. But my point is that you're going to come up with content ideas, right? Although some clients actually they have like a team where they have a content creator, they have a photographer, they have an editor, they have a graphic designer. That's fine. If you're working with that kind of a client, that's great. But if you're not working with that kind of a client, and the client is probably a solopreneur, and the person wants you to do that, of course, you can do it, but you have to charge for it. So you create content for the client. So yes. Somebody said, excuse me, guys. Somebody said system for workflow. Of course, I'm the queen of system. I already told you. If you need a template bundle that takes you from point A, from earning $250 in a month to be able to earn $2,000 in a month with confidence, without you missing word, without you being afraid. Let me tell you something, and I tell this to my students every time. The difference between you and somebody that is charging $5,000 in a month, the only difference is that they know, and they know their worth, first of all, and then number two, they charge for it. Then number three, they have systems. They have systems, and the system they have is part of this Pro Social Media Manager Client and Content Kit that I always talk to you guys about. Now, this Pro Social Media Manager Client and Content Kit is for social media managers who don't want to start from the scratch every time. A client hires you, you have a welcome packet. A client hires you, this content strategy that I just talked about in to this question that Titi asked. A client hired you, you already have a content strategy in place. The only thing that you're going to be changing is probably the colors, and because the strategy is the same everywhere. If the real thing that you're going to do is conversion, which is sale, or probably hires, is the same. You have onboarding form, the questions to ask your client to create content strategy, the content calendar for them. You already have it done for you. You have analytics report that you send every month to your client. It's already done for you. All you have to do is just probably change the colors and upload the screenshots, and it's done for you. So instead of you getting something like that, it's something that is already done for you. Some of you would rather start from the scratch every month and keep repeating it and keep repeating it. You have to work smarter, you guys. It's 2026. We need to work smarter. So if you want to get it, you know what to do. The link to get it is in my description box. or you go to the link in my bio, you get it. I can't count how many of these that I've sold. In fact, I am planning to increase the price of this particular product because a lot of people that have gotten it, it's becoming an insult. I don't know. People have been at least I've received like 3 DMs from people telling me that I should charge more for this product, and it's becoming something else. In my mind, I'm thinking that what is happening? Do you understand? So my plan is this particular February is to increase the charges. I mean, to increase the price of the product because it has 18 template bundle to make you increase your charges with confidence. Take it from me. Anyways, somebody said, just drop your question in the comments so that I can just go through it. Somebody said, I have a little knowledge about social media management. Can I accept a social media work that I applied for and have been accepted? Oh my God. Yes, 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 yes. Why won't you? You better accept it. If I don't, if I hear, why are you asking that? Start working already. What do you mean? You better accept it. Accept it immediately with your full chest. Trust me. See, you are taking social media management like it's something massive that it's not as hard as you think, you guys. See, what you are meant to do is that social media management is you following trends every time because it's a very fast-paced role. So my point is that if you are able to stay consistent with whatever is going on, whatever things people are doing on social media, especially for social media management, I mean social media trends, each social media platform, if you are able to be very very fast paced in making all of those trending things, you are able to quickly grab trendy things, you can be a social media manager. Trust me, you can be a social media manager. All you just have to do is just probably get my pro social media manager client and content kit so that you have a system and then you are able to be confident. Do you understand? Social media management is not rocket science. You can be on YouTube and watch courses on social media management and then get hired tomorrow. It's not a skill where you have to think that is something big. In fact, I believe that social media management is 30% skill, 70% confidence. I'm telling you the facts. If you can manage your own personal social media if you can manage your own social media page, that's social media platform that you love the most. If you can manage it and you see result on that page, you can do it for any other person. You can do it again. So stop limiting your thoughts or your belief that is something that it is that confidence that you should have. And the thing that boosts your confidence is when you have the skill and then you have the templates that you're meant to be using every time. You are not always asking questions. You are not always going from one video to the other because you already know the things to do. You have a process, you have a framework with you. When I wanted to start this, when I started working as a social media manager, I remember that when I wanted to transition into working with international clients alone, if you're just joining, make sure to like this video. When I just started working with international clients, what actually made me start to work with international clients, let me even tell you guys today, is that I realized that a lot of business owners that are Nigerians, they don't value your work as a social media manager. I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, but the ones that me I've worked with, they will love your work, oh, but they don't value it enough to pay for it as much as they are meant to pay for it. For you are going to be working so hard. Another thing is that the field that values your work, that pays you a lot, they will make sure that you overwork yourself up to the point that you'll be frustrated. Because if they pay you and they don't make any sale, it's coming back to you. If they do anything, is they make it like they paid you with their last money. And working with people like that is going to kill your creativity as a social media manager. That was when I decided to stop working with Nigerians. Not because they did anything wrong to me, because anytime I'm under pressure, my creativity drops. I don't get creative. I don't know if it happens to you, if you can relate to this. You can drop in the chat if you can relate to what I'm saying. My creativity drops anytime I'm under pressure. So I have to look for a way to work with people that actually understand what it means to work with social media managers. Trust me, you guys, my very first client that is a white person is I remember the lady Krista. This particular lady, she worked with me for 3 years, 3 years straight. This lady, I want to tell you that, do you realize that the things that I usually do for my Nigerian clients, that when I do it and I talk about it, she will just be like, okay, 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 what next are we doing? She doesn't even value it in any way. This person, if I mean the new client that I actually now work with, if I just tell her that, oh my God, I've done the graphic design, I've done this, I've done that, she'll, hey, you need to see the way she'll be thanking me. Even though she was paying like 15 times more than what the Nigerian client was paying me. Do you understand? So my point is that people that value your work, people that know the value of what you are doing, I believe those are the people that you're meant to target. Now, I'm not saying you should not work with Nigerian business owners. You can work with Nigerian business owners if that is your target audience, but make sure that you're working with people that you know in your mind that they are not going to stress you. How do you know? That is why you have to qualify them on the discovery call. When they come to your discovery call, you have a meeting with them, there are some set of questions that you are meant to ask them that is going to reveal and qualify them if they are going to be able to work with you or not. Now, the discovery call questions that I'm talking about is also inside the Pro Social Media Manager Client and Content Kit. Do you understand? Do you see why it is important for you to get it? So my point is that social media management is 70% your confidence, 30% your skill. Trust me. Because as you go about it, you keep learning. You keep learning. So my dear sister, Adeyire, yeah, Adeyire, please do it. Accept the job, please. Don't ask that question. Then she said, though I have an upcoming social media management class that I want to attend soon. Well, attend it, improve your skills, it's good for you, but accept that job. Thank you for your explanation. Are we going to still be able to access the video after the? Of course, the video is on my YouTube, so you can watch as many times as you want. How much do you get the pro social? Oh, okay. It's $55 and is 40,000 naira. $55, 40,000 naira. The link to get is in the description of this video. Um, Adeyire said, I've accepted it, though the pay is not much, but it's okay for a start. Sure, sure. Even if it's going to be because you want to use it to grow your, I mean, to add to your portfolio, then it's also important. Right. So it's good. Make sure to like this video. Now, if you are just joining, make sure to drop your comment, I mean your question in the chat. If you have any question whatsoever pertaining to social media management, drop it in the chat. Let's talk about it openly now so that we tackle it. So just drop the comments in this slide so that I can go through it. Let me just go on with the question that I said I received in DM. Somebody said, okay, I think I already answered this one. What system? Yeah, I already answered this one. Why do some hold on, somebody said, why do some posts, I don't know why I didn't bring my glasses. What's the difference between, okay, we already tackled that. Why do some social media managers grow faster with fewer posts? Now, well, that is not on you because some social media managers, you don't know what people are doing behind the scene. You guys, you don't know what people are doing behind the scene. If a social media manager is not posting so much, with they have a fewer posts and they have high ticket clients, trust me, you don't know what they are doing behind the scene. Some of them is maybe referral. Imagine you have a client that you work with and you did very well and your client referred you to somebody else. Do you still need to post before that the client finds you out? No. Imagine that you're running ads. Would they know that you're running ads? No. Do you understand? So my point is that don't base people's success or people's having new clients on the number of posts they share on social media. You never can tell. People are doing a lot of things behind the scene that you know nothing about. Do you understand? I think I missed some questions when the internet was really bad, but um then somebody said, what should I fix first if my growth feels stuck? Hmm. Don't fix everything, because sometimes the only thing you are meant to do is you to have clarity. If you can fix your clarity that this is what I want to do, don't just say I'm a social media manager. Anybody that I find, I'll work with. If I like, I'll go and apply this one. What do you want to do? Who are you for? Who are you working for? What problem do you have? I mean, what problem are you solving with your skill? What do you want each content to solve? What do you want each content to speak? Who do you want each content to speak to? Once you have clarity, everything else becomes easier. That's my advice. If you are stuck, it's not because you are failing, it's actually because you are trying to do a lot of things without direction. And that's where the problem lies. Right. So if you still have any question, I want to hear from you guys. Drop your questions in the chat. Nothing is too basic. Just drop your question. Drop your question and I'll answer as many as I can, really. Just drop your question in the chat and I'll answer as many as I can too. And if I've already answered you, signify if I already answered your question the way you want or it has already been sorted. Now, if today actually helped you to think differently, then you don't need more notification. You don't need more motivation. You don't need more advice. What you need is structure. What you need is having a system. Do you understand? And having a system means that you are getting things that make you be able to increase your charges with confidence. Do you understand? So if you still, I still have about 3 more minutes. If you still have any question, drop it in the chat before we wrap it up. Make sure to comment on this video and like this video. I'm going to call you people out if you don't comment on this video. If you don't comment, drop your comments in this video, because I believe that that is what you guys can actually use to appreciate me, you know, is on YouTube. So you can just drop a comment, an encouraging comment and all of that. And also, if you are not subscribed to this channel, please subscribe, because we go live every Friday. Every Friday we go live. So when we go live, we discuss things that actually move your business forward, things that actually makes you more comfortable, things that makes you more confident, and to be able to charge your worth. Things that make you charge your worth, we discuss it every Friday. We are always live every Friday, 12 p.m. West African time. So go and mark your calendars. Make sure you're always joining, because this is like a school. Now, if you remember, I mentioned that I'm going to be telling you something before the end of the call. Now, if you are a social media manager and you want to improve on your skills and you don't want to pay for any course, you don't want to buy any book, I have a what should I call it? And a hack for you. You can learn courses on LinkedIn. Now, how do you do that? You go on LinkedIn and you pay for LinkedIn Premium. Now, you don't have to pay for LinkedIn Premium. LinkedIn Premium for is free for 1 month. You are what is it called? You are eligible to have a free subscription for a free trial for 1 month on LinkedIn Premium. So go and input LinkedIn Premium and register. I think you're going to put your card, but they're not going to charge you unless you ask them to. So for that 1 month, go to click on LinkedIn Learning and then go and look for courses that can actually make you increase your skill and charge more. There are a lot of courses there that is for free, you guys, for free. For free. How to sell your digital products, how to what should sales consultation, how to do it well. So many things that you can learn for free. Courses that will take you maybe a week if you are serious about it. Some of it you get certificates for these courses and it's for free. For social media managers, for strategists, it is for free. So take advantage of it. Go and do it. Right. Somebody said, regarding ads, I've run Instagram ads in the past for my brand, and I'm curious if I'm running ads on Instagram for a particular post, do I also have to run ads on my Facebook page? I feel Instagram and Facebook are connected, so I don't know um what you're talking about. I feel Instagram is meant to be connected to your Facebook, and you're meant to be is I think is through account center or something like that. So when you run ads on Instagram, I mean when you run ads on Facebook, the ads can show on Instagram. In fact, it even shows on threads. So when you run ads, it can show on all of those. It can show on Instagram simultaneously. It can show on Facebook. It can show on Threads. So you can do all of those. But my point is that do not rely on ads. Do not rely on ads. You can run ads once in a while, but don't rely on ads because it means that whenever you don't run ads, your page is going to be dormant. Right. So that's just my advice to you. Anyway, guys, any more question before I leave? Going. Make sure to like this video and see you guys next week, Friday. And if you want to learn more about everything that has to do with social media management systems, getting clients, how to get clients, I've talked about so many topics. You can just binge watch this weekend, learn on my on my YouTube channel. There are a lot of, just go to the playlist and click and watch and learn. So many free resources there. Do you understand? All right. See you guys until next Friday. Have a lovely weekend ahead. Bye, guys.